I'd like to call to order the Enfield Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Agency meeting for Tuesday, April 5th, 7 p.m. Can we have a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Donna Corbin-Savinsky.
Here.
Virginia Higley. Here. Robert Hendrickson.
Here.
Kevin Zorda.
Here.
Nancy Martin.
Here.
Sean Dean. Absent. Ann Collins.
Here.
Phil Kober.
Present.
Okay. I'd like to state that Carrie Ann resigned on March 28th. We received a letter of resignation, and it was immediate resignation. And with that being said, I'd like to seat Philip for today's meeting. Okay? Awesome.
Yep.
Okay, public participation. Is there anybody in the audience want to speak regarding items not on the agenda? Anybody want to speak on items not on the agenda? One last time. I see none. Items not on the agenda. We'll move forward. Agent comments. Anybody to my right have any comments?
Nothing.
No. To my left? Nope. Okay, moving forward. Correspondence. We received, excuse me, an email regarding the 50th anniversary of Connecticut Inland Wetlands and Watercourse Act from Janice Fournier, and they're going to be doing a celebration because it's the 50th year. They're looking for information on stories and photos of our commissions and activities, how we preserve the wetlands within our town within the last 5 decades. Ginny, do you have any? Would you know?
We should see if we can
We
get.
can see if we can get something. I don't know.
If the gentleman starts to build his garage, convenience store, gas station,
Oh, yeah, that'd be
Noble
nice.
Gas, that would be wonderful. That would be our poster
Yeah.
child for
But
how
I think
to do
they
it
want
properly.
it.
It'll be before that, yeah.
Yeah, they want it sooner.
bad.
Yeah, they
Too
want it
bad.
sooner, but I don't know if there's history in the office on
We can check and see.
on the beginnings of it and stuff, yeah. Yeah, okay. The next, we received an email from Sheila Bailey dated March 22nd. It was titled FOI, but it's really the boards and commissions. It went out to all the boards and commissions regarding the requirements for agendas and our minutes and our meetings and how we have to file everything, the subcommittees, cancellation of meetings, our schedules. If you resign, you have to send the letter to the town clerk, which is Sheila Bailey. And then some other little pieces there. So we received that. I hope everybody received a copy of that. It was. I also received a couple things on the desk here: Conservation, River Conservation, and a wildlife magazine. If anybody wants to read them, Connecticut Wildlife. So that's it for correspondence. Next is approval of minutes for March 15th.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes of March 15th, 2022.
Second,
Ginny, Kevin. Do I have a discussion? I did notice again, they pointed out that we don't have the adjournment time. Or who made the motions. So the motion was, I forgot, I thought I wrote it down.
did Carrie Ann make the motion?
Let me see.
Of
I thought I
course.
wrote- Yes, Carrie Ann made the, and then Ginny seconded it
At what time?
at 7:59.
So I will make that change
Okay.
for my motion.
Okay, any more discussion? Can I have roll call, please?
Donna Corbin-Savinsky.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Robert Hendrickson.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Nancy Martin.
Yes.
Ann Collins.
Yes.
Phil Kober.
Yes.
7 in favor, motion passes. Could we ask the secretary to make sure she adds those? I guess it's.
Yep, so the next minutes
Yeah.
will reflect the mistake and the change.
Yeah, but I mean, could she make sure she knows to add them going forward?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is town attorney report. We have none. There's no continued public hearings. We have no new public hearings. Next is old business.
I will move that we strike the old business A, 174 Shaker Road, as it's, I think, just a typo. And I will also propose that we move the POCD discussion to the end of the meeting just before adjournment.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? No, we have roll call, please?
Donna Corbin-Savinsky.
Yes.
Virginia Higley. Oh, yes, sorry. Robert Hendrickson,
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Nancy Martin,
Yes.
Sean Green is absent, Ann Collins,
Yes.
Phil Colbert.
Yes.
7 in favor, motion passes.
I was thinking of something.
Yeah. So next is new business. We have IW 650, 43 Monroe Road, wetland application to install an in-ground pool with a surrounding patio in the upland review area. Matthew Hart applicant, Matthew Hart and Kimberly Andrews owner, map 90, lot 111, R44. Hi.
Hi.
Could you please state your name and address for the record?
Matthew Hart, 43 Monroe Road,
Welcome.
Enfield, Connecticut.
Okay,
I look
let me get
familiar. I
you-
work at Costco, just in case you. Hard time.
In case you're wondering. So if you could just give us a little information about your request?
Well, I'm a pool builder, and we just recently bought the house last year in hopes to do it. I kind of glanced at the whole wetlands area. I didn't see that it fell into the escarpment area, and you had to be 100 feet away. I thought we were in the clear. And I just hoped to put an in-ground pool in there with the grandkids in mind.
Nice.
It was in the narrative that I wrote. You know, I'm going to keep everything I'm very mindful, and I'm a respectful builder. I'm going to reuse all the materials I can. There are on both sides of the property some kind of storm swells. I'm going to add to those or not add to them. I'm going to just make sure the flow of water, nothing's interrupted, and in hopes that I can go forward with the project.
Okay. Yeah, you're like 97 feet from the upland review area.
Yeah.
So you're like
yeah.
3 feet too short.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Does anybody have anything?
No, I mean, it's where you are on that side. I thought, without seeing it, and I'll just make note that I also live on Monroe Road, but the other end, so it has no
Towards
impact.
Kennedy or the other?
No, I'm near Abbey.
Oh, with the big hills in the back and the.
No, I'm on the other side,
Gotcha.
but it has no impact on where you are,
Yep.
and so I can make a unbiased judgment. But the location of where you are on that side of the road, I think all those soils have been disturbed in building those houses. If it was on the other side of the road,
Yeah.
that would be more of a concern to me because that's where there's obvious wetlands.
Yes.
So I think most of those soils are previously disturbed soils.
Right.
The one request I would make that it's not noted on your proposal is, I know you're going to keep all the soils on site. I would ask that you put in some sedimentation control, hay bales or whatever while you're doing the construction in case we do get rain. I know there's culverts kind of down at the corner, and
Yep.
we wouldn't want silt to get down in those or into the wetlands. So I would just ask that you.
So in front, because I have the 6-foot-high resin privacy fence already,
Yep.
it's a big bonus of buying the house. So just prevent from seepage forward.
Yeah, when you make the
yard.
piles and where you have bare
Yeah.
soil to put hay bales up to
Silt
prevent
fence.
that. Or silt fence
Okay.
would be even better.
Okay.
Just during construction.
Yeah.
Anybody other comments, questions? No. I was wondering where the chemicals would go, but they would even have
No pool.
Nope.
Pool house.
no pool house or anything.
No pool house, sand filter. It's going to be as basic as it comes. You don't have to worry about DE.
Okay.
And the
All right.
sand filters up by the house.
Yeah, and the sand filter's up by the house. So
Yeah,
that's-
sand filter's just up by the house.
So that's good. That's good. And I'm sure you don't drain this too often, so.
No salt. I'm not going with salt water. I'm not a big huge
No,
fan
no.
of it. I'm not.
So we don't have to worry about that if you decide to drain it, but if so, you would want to drain it away from the wetlands. Did you have a question?
Did you want to make the silt fencing during construction a site-specific condition?
Yeah, I think we'll put that on there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought you were. Other than that, I don't have anything else that I saw. Nope. Do I have any?
So I will make a motion that we approve IW number 650, 43 Monroe Road, wetlands application to install an in-ground pool with a surrounding patio in the upland review area. Matthew Hart applicant, Matthew Hart, and Kimberly Andrews owner, map 90, lot 111, R44 zone, with a site-specific condition that sedimentation control be placed during construction until grass is established.
I'll second.
Okay, and that was Ann, okay. Any discussion?
Wetlands?
Yes. Any more of a discussion? No? Can we
No,
have
but
roll call?
it's Nancy, not
It's
Ann.
It's Nancy. It's
Thank you.
Nancy.
Nancy?
Yeah, Nancy made this.
It is Nancy Ann, though.
That's right.
Point of,
That's what
I
happened.
know, you confused me.
Nancy and Ann.
Yeah, that's the end.
No, I know that, but are they
Full members. No, they're
full
full.
members?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Don, you ready?
yes, please, roll
Okay.
call.
Donna Corbin Sabinski.
Yes.
Virginia Higley, yes. Robert Hendrickson.
Yes.
Kevin Zorda.
Yes.
Nancy Martin.
yes.
Ann Collins.
Yes.
Phil Colbert.
Yes.
7 in favor, motion passes. Have fun with your pool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is enforcement reports. You're up.
Okay, so I guess we'll deal with 174 first,
Yeah.
130 Shaker Road. So in your packet, you, I believe you got a copy of an email from Attorney Schober. And I had several conversations with them. They're coming up with a plan. They're going to enlist the aid of a soil scientist to look at the property and flag it. Most of the work that they want to do now is they want to move the operations down to 130 Shaker Road, which would be probably the best benefit for the area anyways. He still wants to keep a section of towards the front, towards the street, and advertise for the firewood. He gave me a rough drawing off the GIS, but he's going to come in with a plan to present to you for doing that. It still has to go through the zoning issues, but most of the equipment and materials are, according to him, their intention is to move everything out of the wetland. It's still be in the upland review area, of course, but most of the materials and operations are going to be moved to 130 Shaker Road. So it may take a couple weeks just because of the soil scientists being able to check that. And he told me that they are in the process of an engineering firm to draw up the actual site plans for both.
That sounds good. So we're not gonna, we won't do anything with this. You probably want to keep your paperwork
Yeah.
and that for when it does come through as an application. Just so you have the history. Okay. It's 283, I guess?
And the second one would be 283 George Washington.
Oh, hi.
Mr. Butenis? You just have a seat there,
Yeah.
please.
Could you state your name and address for the
Sure,
record?
James Buchanan, 283 George Washington Road.
Welcome.
Thank you. So what do I need to do?
Well, he's going to give us an explanation first.
Okay, I believe you, the agents received a copy of the report and photographs of the issue at hand with the property. I had a conversation with Mr. Butenis, let's see, when did he call me? On March 17th. And his intention at that time, you were going to call me over to take a look at the property, but
I-
you haven't done
I
so. But
recently had a stroke, so I've been a little
Oh.
bit disabled.
Okay,
I just got a 30-yard dumpster there, and I had guys helping me Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I plan on working there tomorrow as well. Take a day off from work to clean up around the site.
okay, so,
And as far as the non-wetlands related thing, there's an adverse property thing I'm looking into because the property's been used for 19 years. But as far as the wetlands goes, there's a 100-foot setback. My property's only 130 feet wide, so my driveway is within the, I mean, it looks like, according to what you sent me, my entire property is wetlands,
Yeah.
which is not the issue, not the question at large here. I think it's the 100 feet from the waterway, which is, I believe it's runoff there because it's not wet all the time. Probably 4 or 5 months a year, it's completely dry. So it's
That's a
not a
brook or something,
continuous.
right?
there is a brook there, and the 100 feet really is a moot point just because of everything being in the wetlands itself, according to our mapping.
Right.
And as you can see from the pictures, quite a bit of material is just on the, right next to the brook area. It's considered a brook according to the waterway, according to our mapping. So Mr. Butenis would now have to give us some sort of plan in order to rectify the situation with the
Planning on
proximity.
cleaning up the site, which, like I say, I have a dumpster there, and I'm going to rake it back as best I can on my side, at least, which is not, I guess it's not even really my side. It's not my property there, according to what you sent me.
It isn't, but your materials are within, the materials from your property have grown into that space, so it's your responsibility.
And
To remove
I'm
those
not arguing
items.
that point.
Okay.
As I say, I'm going to clean that, I'm going to clean my materials up, so.
So I think
I've
what
been
we-
there for 20 years, it's going to take more than 20 days to do it.
So they
Of
can't,
course, yeah, no, that's fine.
they're going to kind of need a idea of a time frame as to when you think they
I'm-
can.
Doing everything I can humanly do to get it done, how's that?
No.
No, that's fine, that's
We
fine.
understand that.
I got a 30-yard dumpster there. I don't have the money to rent big equipment to move stuff, so we're doing it by
That's fine.
one piece at a
You know, a
time by
month or
hand.
two, probably. I don't know how much.
Yeah. So I think what, because of it's a zoning complaint form, what would be helpful is if you give us a written, whether it be an email, some sort of written documentation of what your plan is, how long you think it might take.
Yeah.
We believe you're going to do it, just we need to have it in writing.
I guess I need to know, since the wetlands is saying I got to be 100 feet away, I got to know, where.
So
I can park
technically-
Vehicles and that kind of stuff.
Yep. So it is confusing.
Right.
And this is actually, we're going to talk about this later, but in training and learning about this, the way that Connecticut and in Enfield looks at wetlands, it's not just if there's sitting water, it's what type of soils are there. So
Understood
that's what
completely.
that's why all of the soils on your property are considered wetlands.
That's why
It-
I got rid of I had septic system, and I went to a pump and a emulsirator, and I send it down the street. It goes over by DMV now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
paid,
Yeah.
19 years ago, I paid like $9,000 or something back then, which is, I don't know what it is now,
Probably a lot more, 20.
probably a lot more now.
Sure. So the
Put in a tank
concern.
and an emulsirator so I wouldn't have to use a in-ground septic system there.
Right. So the concern is, especially as it gets close to even an intermittent waterway, that this, it doesn't always
And
flow.
I have put up a reinforced poly thing to try to protect the waterway, to try to
Oh, a silt fence.
stop stuff from getting into it.
Yeah.
A tarp,
Okay.
160 feet long.
So put that in your note.
Yeah.
I'll include that.
Yep. And then that's all we need is just a plan of how you're going to rectify it.
No, never been involved with this.
Oh, no,
and
you're
I'm all
doing
for
fine.
it. I'm not fighting this at all.
Yeah, no.
I believe in the environment and stuff, so.
Yeah, just write it down, send them a note. When do you think
and
you
I'll
have it
get ahold of you,
finished?
Rick.
Yep, you can get a hold of me, and just so we can go on the record, I'd like to go out there and
Town
inspect.
Planners Department?
I'm sorry?
How do I find you here?
Rick Rochelle, I'm the one that sent you
Right,
the
it's-
notice of violation.
On that notice that you sent.
Everything's on the notice of violation to contact me. I'd just like to get a date where, a date set so I can come out and inspect the property, just so we have a starting
It
point
already,
to
it
go
already
from.
looks better, but
Okay,
it's not
so,
done yet.
so I'm asking you for a date. Can I come out there this week and take a look at the property
You're
and,
welcome to come by anytime.
okay, thank you.
Well, I mean, I'll be there tomorrow. The rest of the week, hopefully I'll be working to make money to pay for all this.
Okay, I'll be out there tomorrow then.
Okay.
All right?
And it's
Thank you.
more to make sure there's no other contaminants that could get into the waterway, anything like that. So they'll
I tried my
help
best
you out.
To stop
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
Yep, they'll help you out. So don't be afraid to
I
call
need to
them.
know what is right and wrong. I don't want to do things twice and 3 times, you know?
Absolutely.
He'll, when he goes, looks at it, he'll give you some suggestions.
Right,
or
that's
whatever.
all.
Yeah.
Just
I'll explain
say,
everything.
This there,
I'll
that
ex-
gone.
I'll explain everything you'll need to do, and I'll give you a little diagram to show you what you need
I
to do.
appreciate it.
All right.
I'm good at stick figures and stuff, you know?
That works.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. And like
Yeah.
I say, I'm all for it. I'm not
Okay,
testing or arguing that part of it
Okay.
at all.
that's good.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
No.
coming in.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
not a
Thank
problem.
you. Good luck
Thanks
with,
for having
good
me.
luck. Hope you feel better soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely a blow.
Oh, yeah.
Weird, like,
Yeah, situation for sure.
not something you don't want to relive more than once if you have to, you know?
That's right. Yeah, well, thank you again.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you have any questions,
Being in
feel,
the hospital for
just-
almost a week,
Yeah.
that's the worst part.
yeah, just work with Rick and Georgie and
Okay, I
they'll
will. Okay. I'll
help
see
you out.
tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too now.
Thank you, Rick.
Wait, I just couldn't find you. I figured you guys were up in the room up here.
Oh,
in the
okay.
Conference room, but it's the tax assessing.
Yeah.
And they
No,
did- they-
you were fine. You were on time. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Did you have any more? No. You're good. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Next on our agenda is a report of the planning staff.
None to be reported.
Thank you. Well, how did your class go this week?
Casio,
Last week.
Casio went well.
Good.
I hope.
Good. Next on our agenda is new applications to be received. We have IW 651, 30 Woodlawn Avenue, wetland permit for modification to a new location of a single-family house, only on Woodland Ave. Jerry Filliot, owner applicant, map 33, lot 125, R33 zone. I would like to ask if we could get the original approval and conditions for IW 637 that this refers to.
Yep. So Jeffrey Filio came to us a couple months ago with those 2 single-family homes, and then when he was starting to plan out the foundation and stuff, he realized that the backyard for the house on Woodlawn was kind of small for the backyard, so he just wants to move it up closer, a couple more feet to increase the backyard. So that's why he has to modify his original approval, and that's why it states strictly it's only for the house on Woodlawn, because his previous approval is for 2 locations.
Right, but could we get a copy of
Yes.
that, just so
Yep,
when we
absolutely.
review the application, especially we have new people?
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll see what we approved, or any conditions we did. Thank you. Do we need to vote on that?
No, no.
Yeah, IW 652, Enfield Housing Authority, wetland permit modification for changes in the berms, grading, and excavation within the upland review area. Enfield Housing Authority, applicant owner, map 19, lot 235, HR 33 zone. Same with that, if we could get our original approval conditions from 597,
Yes.
that are references, just so we see what we,
Yeah,
if it-
absolutely.
you know, if at all, any kind of thing there. Next is IW 653, 29 Crescent Beach Drive, wetland permit, activity for house construction near Crescent Lake. George and Lynn McGallies, owner applicant, map 97, lot 10, R33 zone, in the Lake Overlay District. So those have been received. We'll
Excuse me,
discuss-
Chair.
Yeah.
We did receive one more application late Friday. It's IW 654, 140 through 148 Hazard Avenue. This will be a wetlands permit modification for Trinity Health of New England for the demolition of a 1-story structure to be replaced with a 2-story structure and to construct an addition to the existing cancer center. Tony Armelin, applicant, Johnson Memorial Medical Center, LLC owner, map 65, lots 86 through 90, BP and R44 zones.
Okay, thank you.
Are they knocking down all the buildings or just one?
Nope, just the one. There's one. So there's 4 buildings on site. The biggest one in the back, they're gonna take it down, and they want to do a new ambulatory building that will have surgical center, and they want to make it a 2-story building, and then they want to add that addition to the cancer center for more cancer research.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's that picture out front, right, on the poster.
Yep.
I will state now, and I'll state it at the meeting, I just retired from Trinity Health after 12 years, so.
Yay.
But I will be able to, judge this appropriately.
So you,
Fairly.
you will be recusing
No,
yourself?
I won't.
Oh, okay.
Chairman, just so you're aware, I will be recusing myself for 29 Crescent Beach Drive, as that abuts my property.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I have a question for Georgie. Georgie, on the 653, on our checklist, there's nothing checked off on that?
So this is a small residential home. It has mostly interior construction than exterior.
Okay.
They're just in the Lake Overlay District, and their property is within 200 feet of Crescent Lake. And then they have a couple of things going on outside that they've already done, but they're trying to get a permit for those activities. So they're coming before Inland Wetlands and the Zoning Board of Appeals this month.
We did have a little, well, we were sitting here earlier, they did notice that a couple of the applications, I think 651 probably as well.
Is what?
The residents don't, do all the check marks on an application.
Yeah, most of the checklists It's there for large developers like Noble Gas and Stanley. Most developers that have a giant impact on stormwater drainage. Sometimes we'll get those residential developments like subdivisions that will check everything off, but it's mostly just to aid the applicants as they come through to let them know what they need, if there's a public hearing, what they'll need, and so forth. So every now and again, some boxes may be checked off for some applications, but at least from what I've seen, I have not seen an application come across our office that doesn't have that has every single box checked. There's always at least one missing.
But I mean, you always review them anyway?
Yes.
To make sure that they do
Yep.
check.
So for this one, you should have gotten a picture in your packets of them installing hay bales and silt fencing. So originally, when they came into our department, they did not have any proposed sedimentation controls, and that was stated in her narrative. And then after a brief discussion with Rick and zoning and I think building, they decided to put hay bales and silt fencing up to protect the lake from that sediment running down. There's a couple of pictures you can see in the back patio in the concrete area. They're just trying to expand their bedroom, which is how it's mostly interior, but also a little bit exterior in the backyard. But they're from Florida, so they don't actually live in Connecticut. So they visit the property like in the summer, and this was just an instance where they bought the property and they didn't know that it had leaking roofs and deteriorating stuff in the house. So, and then without knowing, they started doing work, and then there was a stop work order from the building department, and now they're trying to obtain their proper permits.
Okay. So we'll talk about them 2 weeks. Thank you very much.
And I just wanted to ask if you wanted to make any of these applications a public hearing.
Oh, I don't. The Housing Authority is just a slight modification.
It's a slight modification to landscaping.
Yes, I would.
And then the rest are just permit modifications with regards to that interior house application.
Yeah, I don't see that would be a big public concern for any of it. I don't. Does anybody else have a comment on that one, or?
So the only question I would have then is, would it have to be determined this meeting, or could
Yes.
it be? Okay.
If the commission wants to make it a public hearing, tonight would be the night, because the legal ad is 15 days and then between 2 and 3.
Right.
So I would have to do a legal ad like tomorrow.
Because we wouldn't discuss it or move forward with it until, we would only do it during a public
Yep, so that's the point of the 14-day reveal period. If we ever receive a petition from the public, or if any of the commissioners wanted to grant a public hearing. These applications seem pretty straightforward, but again, it's up to you, it's your decision.
Yeah, now what could happen too is since we accepted it, now 14 days, our next meeting is the 19th, people could do a petition. And if we get the petition before the 19th,
next meeting, yeah.
then we would go to a public hearing.
Yep, so the next meeting would be
That's
declared a
happened.
public hearing.
Yeah. And even though you've recused yourself, if you feel like it would need a public hearing,
you could say that.
You can definitely say that if you feel like that would be warranted.
Yeah,
But that would have to be decided now.
yeah, unless a petition comes. Yeah, okay. Next on our agenda is the POCD, which we moved to the bottom.
Right off the bat, one of the first things I noticed.
Sorry, before we start, well, I guess, Trinity Health, that's a big project, but I don't think it would be a concern for the
I don't think it would be too much of a concern looking at it. It's just a hospital.
Yeah,
How much wetlands is back there?
I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, wait, actually, I have the full file.
yeah, I haven't seen the application, so I don't,
Right, we
Is
didn't
it?
see the
Yeah.
application yet.
so I don't know, but,
Can't say.
I would want to
but it is
see
a big building, so, I mean, it's going to be a big change, so.
I would like to see that.
It's not a lot of wetland
Application.
disturbance. Their total square feet is 15,434. The wetlands to be impacted, only 1,987 square feet. That's very, very small. Area wetlands to be disturbed, 11,543. That includes enhancements, though, because they're doing enhancements to the stormwater detention basin. And then a little bit in the upland review. And they have, hang on. They also have a certified soil scientist and a professional land surveyor and engineer.
He's bringing it up.
I'm gonna try.
He's gonna
I don't
try.
think I can do it quickly. What is
I
it?
have the site
40,
plans
140.
here if you'd like to see it.
148 has that.
140-148, it's map 65, lot 86. It's a bunch of lots together, but the
Yeah,
project is on like the main building and then the cancer
Yeah,
center.
'cause the cancer center's in the
That
back, right?
back building is tired. I have a doctor that has an office back there, and it's a very tired building.
Is that the GIS with the wetlands?
So, no, I'm just looking at the map. There's a development behind it. So if there is wetlands, it's not, it's kind of like Middle Road behind it.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
all
right, right.
developments. So it's all disturbed. There's no
Yeah.
bodies of water or.
Would it be possible to table receiving that since we haven't
No.
got a chance to
No.
look at the packet?
Received is received. We don't even have to be here for it to be received.
Received. Okay.
Statutorily, we can't table a received application.
Yeah.
It's received at the next meeting.
Yeah, because there is, Middle Road goes,
Yeah.
butts the back of it. So I don't think it would be big.
Yeah.
And the front part is all the buildings and parking lot and everything
Right.
else.
Where is it here?
Yeah, I don't think it's,
I don't think.
I don't
it's
think
a-
it would be
no.
a major concern.
Yeah, I mean, it's Middle Road basically behind it, and there's
all
not
parking
even,
lot.
yeah, there's farmland to the side of it, but
And the building's already there.
and I think
gonna
there's
tear it
already
down.
approval to build something else here anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, and the building's already there. They're
Yeah.
tearing it down and making it two
They just want to
stories.
make it bigger so they can better their services as a hospital.
Yeah, I don't think we need the public
No,
hearing.
I don't think
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for checking into that.
So,
So the POCD.
So the first thing I noticed just on number one, you should say educate residents about the importance.
yeah.
No.
These sentences aren't what will exactly be in the POCD. It's just like a simple,
Yep.
broad thing for our consultant to type it up.
Yeah, and I thought it would probably be appropriate to add, and what wetlands are. So
Oh,
not the
yes.
importance of them, but what wetlands are, like the gentleman today, you know,
Yeah, so define wetlands.
yeah.
That'd probably be the top one.
Yeah. For also the second bullet under number one, says cleaning systems for debris in water courses. In the part after it says involving kids, Boy Scouts, whatever, for who may need community service. I think that's just one aspect of it, like that's kind of manual water cleanup, but other kind of cleaning systems or systems for protecting like basins. What are the things that they can put on the little plaques that they can, what is it, on culverts?
Like,
or-
like stormwater
Yeah.
caps and nets almost.
Well, not only that, but what is it, the source to sea things like that. That might
What's
be
it called?
something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Planning has those.
yeah,
What's it called?
It's a little plaque on the storm drain, and it says it's a source to see.
yeah, just to make people
Like it's
aware.
going,
Oh,
like
a
it's going to the
plaque?
river, it's
Yeah.
going to the,
It's very small.
yeah.
It's like,
I saw
it's like a
one.
medallion.
That's why.
Yeah,
It sits on the catch basin.
So
or
kind of like to
whatever.
help with awareness of where this water is
exactly.
going.
Yep.
So it's funny that you mentioned that. My town that I live in is right along the coast, and they did this thing where they involved artists and children to paint their trash cans, and the trash cans were painted to protect the water, like litter here, and they'd have like sea creatures on the trash cans to help raise awareness of don't pollute the beach.
that's
So that
cute.
kind of reminded me
Yeah,
of what you're doing.
Yeah, I think they call one of them source to sea or something like
yeah,
that.
I saw one. I saw
Yeah.
one the other day.
But I
was
think,
walking.
so to incorporate more than just this kind of mechanical going out there picking up things, but there are definitely other things that we can do to,
Awareness issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's important. I know this isn't how it's going to always be in there, but I don't think most people are going to know what khaki wick is and those, so we want to make sure that those are spelled
Yeah,
out.
define.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't get to read this. They just, it just
Take your
came to
time.
our desk this morning.
Take your time.
No.
It's the same as you got last meeting. It's
Yeah.
just a little
You just
words
cleaned it up.
changing there, yeah. And then the POCD steering committee will be meeting in person this month to go over everything, and then we're going to start finalizing the POCD.
Oh, good. Yeah, it should be identified grants, but you said you're going to clean that up, so.
I feel like we need to expand number 4, develop a long-term sustainable wetlands program. What does that mean? I mean, streamline our process is in there, but I think we need to expound on that.
Seems like we could add some more.
Yeah.
You could perhaps combine that with number 5, if that is how you interpret that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's part of that plan.
Yeah. So take off number 5 and just make it a bullet point.
Right.
Because then that would really help you if your goal for the next 10 years, because as applications come in, because we have a lot of vacant lots left in Enfield, and probably 90% of these vacant lots are undeveloped for a reason, and it's because of vernal pools, wetlands, flood zone. And your goal as the Wetlands Commission is to protect those wetlands, so that could be something that can definitely help you achieve a goal for the POCD in 2032.
Right.
This sounds weird saying that.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's too bad that we don't actually have the data ahead of time, and we
I know that
we
we
could
could-
set benchmarks.
I mean, as I get inquiries about these vacant properties on a daily basis, and it's gotten to the point where we have separate folders for each property because we get so many calls on them. But I can always put together a list if it would help you going forward to see, well, you know, what we have left, what's like prime to protect, and so forth, if you'd like.
That would be helpful.
Now, the town doesn't own any of that, does it?
Town owns some. I don't know off the top of my head, but we definitely own a couple by like Scantic River, a couple on Town Farm Road, a couple on Brainerd Road. But there's a couple on Weymouth Road too, I think, that we have. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me. But I can pull together this information and
Yeah,
see
and say
what.
if it's town owned or
Yeah.
privately owned. Yeah, that'd be nice. Town, we could protect a
could-
little bit easier than.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may be something to the effect of establish a top 10 list of wetland areas to focus protection on in the next.
Do you want top 10 or like top 30?
Yeah,
There's a lot.
I mean, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
a lot?
There's a lot.
You know, whatever would be deemed appropriate based on what we
Yeah.
have. That way, we're not just saying we want to protect wetlands, but it'll
Right.
be more focused on those areas.
That would be a good idea. That way when people come in to develop,
Yeah,
Right, we
we're
could,
it's
kinda
listed.
like
yeah.
on top of it.
Yep, that might also assist with new commissioners who come on the
Exactly,
commission in the
yeah.
future as well. They have something that's like a little guide point, like, oh, I know this property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
that's good.
Okay.
Oh, that's looking good.
You know, another thing that might be helpful in here, and I don't know if it goes in here, maybe this is more for our bylaws, if we do another bylaw change, but require training. I don't know that our
So-
bylaws require training for
we can
commissioners.
actually take that out if you like, because there's a new state law coming out in 2023. It will be effective where all commissioners are mandatory required to do 4 hours of training, and then they'll have to keep up with that training throughout the remainder
Oh, nice.
and so forth.
Excellent.
Is that just for land use boards, though?
I think it's for all land use boards. Starts in 2023. I don't know the details too hard. I just skimmed over it quickly last week during
Wetlands isn't
Casio.
the land use board.
I don't, like I said, I don't know off the top of my head what it said exactly, but I do remember it saying public agencies, so
Yeah,
forth.
get some training.
Yeah, I'll just have to verify it because, I mean, it's not out yet. So,
Yeah, so that might be something we want to think about, making
Yeah.
a bylaw change even, if,
Yeah.
because who knows what that's going to end up.
We may have one more chance maybe to go over the POCD. I'm not sure because they're meeting on the 20th and our next meeting is the 19th. I'll try and find out that information beforehand.
Oh, that'd be good.
I think I think they pushed it to the 21st, I thought. Or we were going to have a meeting before, the day before.
Yeah, there's
and
going to
they
be a
switched it.
special meeting too.
Okay.
So it's the 21st now?
I have to go back through the
hang on, I have
emails.
it on my
There's 3
calendar.
emails that came through today. You should be on those emails.
I'll go back and double
Okay.
check.
If she's not, forward them to her.
Yeah.
I missed the last one because I didn't find it in my email.
Ah.
So the 20th is canceled. The 21st is the special meeting. And then there's going to be another one the next week on the 27th.
It's the workshop is the
Because it was
21st.
originally scheduled for the 20th, and they decided to cancel it, the special meeting on the 21st, so they can meet in person.
Right.
Oh, so we probably could look at it.
Okay.
And it might be in the Fermi Auditorium.
Where?
The Fermi Auditorium, the old Fermi School. You know, I don't know the new name of it. I just know that everyone calls it Fermi.
It's the annex.
Annex. There you go. The annex.
Also known as Fermi.
Gotcha. Always slips my mind.
Okay, good.
So I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, they were waiting for doing that. All in favor? Aye. Meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.